Flexidentate ligands. Flexidentate by name it is clear, flexible denticity. What is denticity? Number of bonds formed. So if I am the ligand and with some compound I make, let's say, 2 bonds, with some central atom I make 2 bonds, and with some other central atom I am making just 1 bond. So I am showing 2 different types of denticity in 2 different compounds. So which kind of ligand will I be called as? Flexidentate ligand. Example, EDTA4- ethylene diamine tetraacetate. Yes, he can show a denticity of 6. Mostly he shows 6, but he can also show a denticity of 5 and 4 as well. So in some compound EDTA show a denticity of 6, making 6 bonds with the central atom. In some compound 5, some compounds 4. Similarly, sulfate is a didentate ligand generally, but in some compounds he can also act like a monodentate ligand, so it shows flexible denticity. These are the 2 examples in our course. Next, ambidentate. Understand, ambidentate means denticity is same. Number of bonds which are formed are same, but with different atoms they are forming the bond. My own different atom. For example, I am Cn-. This is C, this is N. So if I join the central atom with my C, ठीक है भाई साहब, or with my N, I am showing denticity 1 only. At a time I am making 1 bond. At a time I am making 1 bond only. But sometimes I make bond with carbon, sometimes I make bond with my nitrogen. तो भैया same denticity but different donor site. The lone pair is donated by different atoms. For example, in Cn-, carbon donates the lone pair. In Nc-, nitrogen can donate. Similarly, in NO2-, nitrogen as well as oxygen can donate the lone pair, but at a time only either nitrogen will donate or oxygen will donate. Similarly, in NCS- also either nitrogen will donate or sulfur will donate, but yes, there are 2 different donor sites. Here one trick I will tell you here. The trick is that you will not find these tricks in any books. You will just find it by the experience only. So the trick that is simple, very simple and very useful trick. So here left side first atom in the case of ambidentate ligand is the donor atom. So if you ever see COSCN whole twice Cl2, for example something like this, so sulfur is the first letter, he is the donor atom, he is giving the lone pair. So in Cn- carbon donor, in Nc- nitrogen donor, NO2- nitrogen donor, ONO- oxygen donor. So bhaiya, this is the ambidentate ligand. And one important thing also I will tell you, some people have this confusion also. This is glycinato. What they say, sir, glycinato also have 2 different donor sites, na? Ha, there are 2 different donor sites, but at a time both of them are forming the bond simultaneously, na? If this is the central atom, hai na bhai, then this oxygen and this nitrogen both are forming the bond with the central atom simultaneously. But in NO2-, either NO2 will form the bond, nitrogen will form the bond, or oxygen will form. So at a time only 1 donor atom is used, then we call it ambidentate. But in case both, there are 2 different donor atoms and both are forming the bond simultaneously, in that case we cannot call it a ambidentate ligand. ठीक है भाई साहब? Then sir, what would you like to call it? I would like to call it an unsymmetrical ligand. Unsymmetrical ligand means he is making 2 bonds but both with different donor atoms and simultaneously. So understand, if donor atom is different in different compounds, in that case we call it ambidentate. If donor atom is same, donor atom is different in the same compound, we'll call it unsymmetrical ligand. So same different donor atom in the same compound, unsymmetrical ligand. Different donor atoms in different compounds, what we call it? Ambidentate ligand. These are your examples. Then some people ask, ki, sir, if this is the metal, this is NCS-, then why can't this also has lone pair, sulfur also has lone pair? So why don't they both donate simultaneously like glycinato? Here very beautiful explanation is there. The explanation is that whenever you take a didentate ligand, didentate means making 2 bond with the central atom, you will always get a ring. And stable ring size is 5 or 6 membered. 5 and 6 membered ring are stable in the whole chemistry wherever you check, in whichever chapter you check. So for example, Yes, NCS minus, NO2 minus, CN minus, they can also form the bond with the central atom simultaneously. Let us check yes or no. So if we see when they both make the bond simultaneously, you can check like this. Then here 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 atoms are making the ring. So this is not allowed. So then glycinato, check yourself. This CH2 is like this. So it's not a member of the ring. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 members in the ring, and 5-member ring is stable. So this thing is allowed. Similarly, if I take NH2, CH2, CH2, NH2 with the central atom M, and they both are donating the lone pair simultaneously, then also 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 members are there in the ring. So this is also allowed. So what we understand, if there are two different donor atoms, yes, there is a chance of it being a didentate ligand. But how to know if it is a didentate ligand or not? If you want to know the trick, simple, make both the bonds simultaneously, you will get a ring, count the number of atoms engaged in the ring directly. See, this hydrogen is not in the ring, this hydrogen is not in the ring. Metal connected to nitrogen, connected to carbon, connected to carbon, connected to nitrogen, connected to metal. So it's a 5-membered ring. So if the ring is 5 or 6-membered, you can make easily. If the ring is more than 6 or less than 5-membered, you cannot call it a didentate ligand. So bhaiya, now I'm going to start with the nomenclature part. Sure that notes are extremely important for this topic, because you have to remember, this is just memory based, there is no logic here. You have to remember the name of the ligands. Okay, so now the first rule is that, for example, if you see NaCl and I ask you what's the name of NaCl, so everyone will be able to say, sir, sodium chloride. So the first rule we understand from here, that the cation is named first, anion is named second. So cation names always come first and anion name always comes second. Now we understand previously in the previous segment of the video that your cation anion can be complex also. That means this box can be having a positive or negative charge. So if you are naming the box, whether you are naming it first or second, depends upon it is cation or anion. But if you are naming it, the box you are naming, then inside the box the ligand will come first and the central atom will come later. Next, also if there are two ligands of the same type, for example Cl2 is there, then I will use dichlorido. If 3 are there, then tri, 4 are there, then tetra. So that is what we have to use. Let's carry on. If the complex has a positive charge or the complex is neutral, sir, how would I know there is a positive charge? Either you will see the positive on the top, or if the complex is written first and the free ion is written later, like free ion is outside on the right side and the complex is written first, 100% the complex has a positive charge. If the complex box comes on the right side, for example K3 FeCN whole 6, so if this box come on the right side, then the box has a negative charge. And if in case there is no free ion and no charge written, no charge also, no free ion also, for example NiCO whole 4, no charge on the top of the box, no free ion, so it's a neutral complex. So in case your complex has a positive charge or zero charge, then the name of the central atom will be as it is, like iron will be iron, cobalt will be cobalt, no change. But if the complex box has a negative charge on it, then the central atom name will end with the letter or with the word 8. For example, cobalt becomes cobaltate, copper becomes cuprate. Like for silver, we have the symbol Ag. So bhaiya, the name is argentate. Fe, ferrate. Gold, Au, aurate. Only mercury is there whose symbol is not in English, whose symbol is not derived from the English name. Mercury has a symbol Hg. Still, the name we are using for mercury with 8 is mercurate. You can see silver had Ag symbol, so argentate. Iron has Fe symbol, so ferrate. Gold has Au symbol, to aurate. Whereas in the case of mercury, even though the symbol is not in English, it's a Greek symbol, still we are not using the letter 8 at the end, we are using mercurate. So this you have to keep in mind. Mercury separately remaining, cobalt becomes cobaltate, zinc becomes zincate, copper becomes cuprate, this kind of thing. Ending will be 8, for central atom when the box has a negative charge. Next, if the ligand has a negative charge, his name will end with O. For example, this is chlorido or chloro. Cn minus is cyanido or cyano. O will be used at the end if the ligand has a negative charge. Like this is chloro or chlorido. This is cyano or cyanido. So many people love to use the word cyanido more, but again we have to go as per the NEET syllabus. In NCERT they are using cyano a lot, they are using chloro a lot, so we can use both, chloro, chlorido, both. Next, number of free ions need not to be mentioned. For example, here there are 3 Cl minus, so you will not write trichlorido here, you will just write chloride. Is that clear part now? When we have free ion 2, 3, 4, 5, you will feel like mentioning, but we never mention it. For example, if you write the name CaCl2, here do you mention calcium dichloride kya yaar? We just mention calcium chloride. Getting the idea of. For example, this is aluminium sulfate. We don't mention dialuminium trisulfate. So this di-tri-tetra will be used just for telling the number of ligand, but not for telling the number of free ions. Now, if the ligand name has di-tri in it, ligand's name has di-tri in it. Simplest example I am giving you, ethylene diamine, like ethylene diamine. Ethylene diamine. So you can understand, if it is ethylene diamine, his name has di, or EDTA. Ethylene diamine tetra acetate. The name of the ligand has di and tetra. It is compulsory to use bis and tris for them. For example, if En whole twice is mentioned, we have to 100% use bis ethylene diamine. You can't use di ethylene diamine. Why? Because his name already have di. So to differentiate between the name and the number of ligand, we write the number of ligand by bis, tris, tetrakis, and so on. But sometimes multi-atomic ligand. Multi-atomic means ligand who is made up of more than one atom. For example, oxalato is made up of more than one atom. Water, aqua, we call it aqua. Water is made up of more than one atom. For them, it is optional. You can use ditri also. Maybe we can say paper setter can use ditri also. They can use bis-tris also. That means here tris aqua is also okay. Tris aqua will also work and triaqua will also work. So paper setter can give you any of these two and both are equally correct. Now let us start the nomenclature, some of them. So Cr H2O whole thrice NH3 whole thrice Cl3. Very important thing, ligands are named first and they are named alphabetically. So let us see. This is water, his name is aqua, and this is NH3, his name is amine. So one thing is very clear to us, AQ and AM. I hope this is very clear to us. What will come first? So A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q. So firstly AM will come, then AQ will come. So bhaiya NH3 will be written also first and will be named also first. So if I start naming NH3 plus NH3 first, what will happen? Firstly, cation first, anion later. So bhaiya, this box is the cation, Cl minus is the anion. So Cl minus will be named later at the last. Firstly, let us name this cation. Cation is complex. And when you are naming the box, in the box ligand will be named first. So bhaiya, who is the ligand here? We have triamine. Triamine. We are ignoring the central atom. We will name the central atom at the last. When we are naming the box, we always name the ligand first. So triamine. Triaqua. We can also write trisaqua also. Both are okay. Triamine, triaqua, chromium. Now should I write chromium or chromate? Simple yaar. If the box has positive or zero charge, normal name is written. So here the box comes first. When the box comes first, it has a positive charge. So name will be normal chromium. One more important rule is there. Inside the bracket, you have to mention the oxidation state of chromium also, that I will find at the last and write it. You will also find at the last only and write it. Then finally, outside the box, now comes the chance. This whole thing from here to here is a cation. This whole thing is the cation, this whole box is the cation, and now I will write the name of the anion, that is chloride. There is no space here, so I am writing below chloride. So understand, triamine, triaqua, chromium, something in the bracket, chloride. Now, should I write trichloride? No, but here number of free ions need not to be mentioned. So here let us find the oxidation state now. So chromium X, amine, NH3 has 0 oxidation state, water also 0, NH3 also 0 charge, water also 0 charge. And there are 3 minus 1 of Cl, overall charge comes 0. So you will get by solving this X minus 3 is 0, so X equal to plus 3. So I will write in Roman numeral third here. So triamine, triaqua, chromium third, chloride. Let's move on to the next example. Here if I ask you कि भैया complex is cation or anion, so happily you will say, sir, complex is the anion. Complex is on the right side. Sir, you told if anything comes on the right side, that is the anion for us. So firstly I will name what? I will firstly name cation. Should I name the ligand first? No. Rule number 1, cation first, anion later. And once we are writing the cation first, I will write potassium. Should I write tripotassium? No. Number of free ions should not be mentioned. So simply potassium. Then some space. Now I am writing the name of the anion. There is a big anion, complex anion. Now as soon as you are writing the name of the box, whose name comes first? Central atom or ligand? Answer is ligand, and that too alphabetically. So let us see. This is chlorido, this is oxalato, symbol C, symbol O. So obviously in A, B, C, D, C comes first, O comes later. So I will write, there are 2 of chlorido. So dichlorido or dichloro also we can say. Dichlorido. See, Cl minus was outside, I have written chloride. When the ligand has negative charge, that means negatively charged particle is inside the box. In that case, I will use the letter O at the end. So when the negative ligand is there, then it ends with O. When the free ion is negative, normal name is there. So potassium dichlorido. Now this is 2. So we can write dioxalato also. We can also write bisoxalato. So for a change, I am writing bisoxalato. Both will be okay. Dioxalato also will be okay. Bisoxalato will also be okay. It's optional because here, whenever the multi-atomic ligand is taken, we can use any of these 2. So potassium dichlorido, bisoxalato, cobalt. Now, should I write cobalt or cobaltate? Let us check. If the box has negative charge, central atom ends with 8. So देखो यार, box is on the right side. If box is on the left side, positive. Box on the right side, negative. So भैया, the name has to end with 8. So cobaltate. Now what to do? Now the most important thing, write in the bracket. Firstly, alphabetical is very important here. In alphabetical order, we don't consider this tri and this bis. The number of ligands we are mentioning with di, tri, tetra, that is not considered for alphabetically arranging the ligands. So it does not matter that bis, B letter is coming here. We always compare C and O. So that's why I'm saying compare here itself. Before writing the name itself, compare who should come first. Next, so bhaiya, here I put X. So potassium always have a +1 charge. So 3 into 1 plus X plus Cl has -1 charge. So 2 into -1. OX has -2 charge. So I will write there minus 2 into 2. Total 0 charge came. So how much is this? 3. And this is -2 minus 4. -2 plus -4 is -6. -6 plus 3 is -3. It will go on the right side. X will come out to be +3. You can solve it in your notebook also right now and check that 3 into 1 plus X plus 2 into -1 for chloride. For -2 into 2, in the beginning also I told oxalato is -2. X will come out to be +3. So what is the oxidation state I will get here? +3 I will get here. So third I will mention. So potassium dichlorido, di or bis, anything I can use. Oxalato, cobaltate. Why cobaltate? Because the box was having negative charge. Now let's do reverse of it. I'm choosing the toughest example for writing the formula if the name is given. So you can see iron third, hexacyanoferrate second. Now iron third, that means iron has, whenever we are writing the formula from the name, just write the formula as it is. No need to do any headache. Just write the formula as it is. So iron, चार्ज प्लस 3. हेक्सासाइनोफेरेट. तो देखो यार, in the box now, after the space box has come because hexacyanoferrate bracket I can see. तो भैया hexacyanoferrate. So firstly, how many Cn are there? 6. And then we have Fe, and this box is having some negative charge. I will find that. But what's the oxidation state of Fe there? Plus 2. Now here comes very tricky part here. I just now told you in the previous part of the video, let's say this is the scenario. A has 2 plus charge, B has 3 minus charge. Crisscross rule says that A3B2 will be the formula. So to write the complete formula of the salt, as I said, treat your complex ion as a normal ion. It is not different than any other ion, just that it looks big. So treat him in the same way. Fe has plus 3 charge. So here 3 will come. But what should come here? For that, let us see the charge on the whole box. Don't write plus 2. Plus 2 is on Fe. Cn has minus 1, minus 1, minus 1, minus 1. So total minus 6. So Fe has plus 2. Cn total has minus 6. So overall charge on the box is going to be 4 minus. Check. Cn is 6 minus. Fe is plus 2. Overall charge minus 4. So bhaiya, by crisscross rule, this box gave 4 here. This plus 3 gave 3 here. So the overall formula comes out to be Fe4, Fe Cn whole 6 whole thrice. I think this part is clear to us. Now we go to this one. Now this is not much important for NEET exam. This is the bridging example. Not much important for NEET. For NEET, mostly these kind of questions they come. One more thing, please practice at least all the questions of NCERT salt example and in text, minimum to minimum, bare minimum, those you have to practice well. Enough examples are given in NCERT. Make sure if you practice that, you will be getting at least all the answers correct in the NEET exam regarding the nomenclature topic at least. Now, for bridging ligand, understand these two are bridge. These two are the bridges. So it is joining two central atom. So here what to do? Start the name from left to right, and whenever the bridging will come, I will use the symbol mu in the alphabetical order. So let us see. I will show you the example. You will understand very well. Starting from the left, central atom name first or ligand? I will name the ligand first. So bhaiya, tetra aqua cobalt. Should I write cobaltate or cobalt? Let us see. This whole box is on the left side. So bhaiya, when the box is on the left side, it is positive, and for positive, central atom has normal name. So tetra aqua cobalt box I will leave for it. Going ahead. Now bridging came. So bridging, this is hydroxide, and this is known as imide, we can say. Okay, bhai sahab. So if I use hydroxide and imide, then who should, or for example, I can take NH2 also here. Let's say amide. So it will be easy for us. So OH minus is hydroxide, NH2 minus is amide. So bhaiya, simple thing is there. Alphabetically, who should come first? A for amide or H for hydroxide? So here A for amide will come first, and amide is a ligand here. So I will use the letter O at the end of it, because for negative charge ligand, it ends with O. So I will get mu. Why mu? Because it is the bridging ligand. So to represent bridging ligand, I use the symbol mu. The same symbol that you use for refractive index also in physics. So mu amido, then mu hydroxido. So you got mu amido, mu hydroxido, both the bridging scale. Then what? Then this part you have to name, and bhaiya, don't write chromium first. Why? Because always when you name a complex, ligands come first, then the central atom having the ligand will come. So what I will write here? Tetra amine chromium. Now in the bracket I will write the oxidation state of chromium. So this whole complex cation got named. You can check here: tetra aqua cobalt, mu amido, mu hydroxido, tetra amine chromium. Oxidation state we have to find, that I will teach you also, but I think this part is clear to us. This is the whole cation we have named. Big cation was there, big name of the cation came. And finally is the chance to write the name of anion. Should we write disulfate? No, for free ions, no need to mention the number. Simply write sulfate here. Okay, bhai sahab. Now comes the most important part here, for which I actually took this question. See here. Before understanding this question, I think remaining parts we were having only single central atom. and there was no problem in finding the oxidation states here. But when you see this cobalt and this chromium, let us take one of them as X, other one Y, what do we get? Water 0 into 4, cobalt X, OH has -1, NH2 has -1, so -1, plus chromium Y, then NH3 0 into 4 plus 2 sulfate are also there, so 2 into -2, one sulfate has -2 charge and 2 people will have 2 into -2, overall 0 charge is there. Now this is 0, this is 0, so what we get? X -2 plus Y -4 equal to 0, so X plus Y equal to 6. So whenever there are two central atoms, there are two conditions you can get like this, like Ag NH3 whole twice, AgCN whole twice. This is also one of the example. Here also you have to take X and Y and solve it. Now X plus Y came 6. X is the oxidation state of cobalt and Y is the oxidation state of chromium. Then sir, how to solve this kind of question? Simple. For solving that kind of question, we have this list that we have to use. Fe will show +2 and +3 oxidation state in this chapter in the coordination compounds. Cobalt shows +2 +3. Copper shows +1 +2. Platinum shows +2 +4. Palladium also shows +2 +4. One rule you can simultaneously remember. If platinum and palladium have coordination number 4, then 100% you can write +2 as the oxidation state. And if there is a +4 oxidation state compound, the coordination number will be 6. For platinum palladium, always +2 forms coordination number 4 and +4 forms coordination number 6. Carry on. +3 and more. If the charge is having +3 and more charge is there, then coordination number 6 is favored. These are the tricks we can use. When we have +1 charge, for example Ag +1, in that case coordination number 2 is favored. When we have +2 charge, coordination number 4 or 6 both can come, but mostly coordination number 4 is favored. So with +1, as you can see, as the oxidation state is increasing, coordination number is also increasing. It's a general rule you can use if you get stuck somewhere and there is no way out. But this is the best way out to understand. Just remember Fe, cobalt, copper, platinum, palladium, and you will be through. Zinc +2 is only there, nickel +2 is only there. This also you can remember, but they are not very tough to detect. Scandium also always shows +3. These are the 3 examples which will show only one single oxidation state. Similarly, Ag also shows +1 only in the complex compounds. So let us see now. If you get X plus Y equal to 6, what are the possibility here? X can be 1, Y can be 5. So here +5 of chromium is not there. Chromium also I have not written here. I can write chromium also. Chromium also shows +3 majorly. Majorly chromium shows +3. Sir, can it show +2 also? Yes, it can show, but mostly +3 is shown. So if you see X plus Y equal to 6, the only combination that can give you the answer is +2 +3, no. +3 +3, yes. So X should also be +3, Y should also be +3, and this answer you get by hit and trial. Other way possible is that be smart, check the options. Check options, you will see bhaiya in which case X plus Y 6 is coming. So anyway, I will write the name here. So tetra aqua cobalt third, and here also third. So for getting the answer, you have to know this list properly. It will help you in finding this kind of questions. We use the symbol eta for pi bonded complexes. So till now all the complexes we have seen, there the lone pair was given by the ligand to the central atom. In this case, the pi bond will be shifted towards the central atom. This pi bond will be shifted towards the central atom. That means no atom is actually donating the lone pair, but a pi bond between 2 or more atoms is being donated. For them we represent eta x. This x is number of atoms carrying the donated pi bond. So the pi bond which is getting donated is between how many atoms is represented by the symbol X. For example, this pi bond is between 2 carbons. So I will use the symbol eta 2 C2H2 for naming this ligand. So it will be as simple as that. The name, the formula for example is going to be PtCl3 eta 2 C2H4. This is Jesse salt, it's a pi bonded complex. Similarly, this is ferrocene. Here, this in the middle, I'm writing the formula also of this. This is actually the resonating structure, and the resonance hybrid I'm representing here. So this is in conjugation completely, and because of this conjugation, we can see that we are writing a circle like this, like we write in the benzene, and this electron cloud, this pi electron cloud is donated to iron. Here, how many eta will come? Now, will 6 eta come? No. How many atoms have this pi bond? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 atoms have this pi bond delocalized. So eta 5 will come. So eta 5. Similarly here, this is bis benzene chromium. It is also known as sandwich complex. As you can see, chromium is acting like a filling of a sandwich here. Here, how many eta will come here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 atom is having this this pi bond being delocalized. So number of atoms carrying the donated pi bond are 6. So eta 6 I will write here. So this is the use of eta for the nomenclature, and for writing the formula we can use again. It is not much important for NEET examination.